Welcome to the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. Are you a passionate believer in liberty and democracy? Are you concerned about the growing infiltration of Marxist and socialist ideology in our politics, media, and culture? This podcast was created by a citizen of the United States who was born and raised in Romania, a socialist country in Eastern Europe, during the 1970s and 1980s. As more and more members of our youth pivot towards Marxism, socialism, and communism in the United States of America and beyond, now, more than ever, it is important to focus on liberty and democracy, instead of the alluring Marxist and socialist trends which, as history repeatedly has shown, lead to repressive authoritarian regimes. Marxism does not lead to utopia either in the United States of America, or anywhere else in the world. Let us question governments, policies, and manufactured social progressivism. Let us go back to the times when it was okay for us to agree to disagree.
Welcome to the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. For the next few months, our podcast episodes published on Fridays will include excerpts from Maestro Cercia's ebook, The Fall of California Under Leftist Rule, to help you understand further the negative effects of Marxist and socialist ideology that has turned perhaps the most beautiful state of the United States of America into a state people struggle to survive, and often wish to leave. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Welcome to the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. In today's episode, we will listen to Maestro Cercia's ebook, The Fall of California Under Leftist Rule. And now, let's focus on Chapter 1, Calamity of Socialist Policies, including Subchapter, Defining Prosperity Paradigm. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chapter 1, Calamity of Socialist Policies. Defining Prosperity Paradigm. The allure of false promises. Growing up in the stifling confines of socialist Romania, I witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of Marxist ideologies. The grandiose promises of equality, prosperity, and social justice quickly morphed into a dystopian reality of scarcity, oppression, and crushing poverty. Like a mirage in the desert, the utopian vision of socialism evaporated, leaving behind a barren landscape of shattered dreams and broken lives. Now, as I gaze upon the familiar patterns unfolding in the once golden state of California, I am reminded of the haunting echoes of my past. The siren song of socialist policies, championed by well-intentioned yet misguided politicians, lures the unsuspecting masses with the seductive promise of a better tomorrow. But beneath the veneer of altruism lies a dark undercurrent of control, centralization, and the erosion of individual freedoms, the very foundations upon which true prosperity is built. It is my duty, as a survivor of socialism's wreckage, to shed light on an alternative paradigm, one that embraces the power of human ingenuity, entrepreneurship, and the unleashing of our collective potential. This paradigm, which I call the prosperity paradigm, offers a vision of a thriving, self-sustaining future, one that stands in stark contrast to the empty rhetoric of socialist ideologues. Defining the prosperity paradigm. The prosperity paradigm is a holistic framework that rejects the false promises of socialism and instead empowers individuals to create their own path to success. At its core, this paradigm rests on the fundamental belief that human beings, when granted the freedom to pursue their dreams and capitalize on their talents, possess an innate capacity to generate wealth, innovation, and flourishing communities. Unlike the socialist model, which seeks to centralize power and redistribute resources through coercive policies. The prosperity paradigm recognizes that true, sustainable progress emerges from the bottom up, driven by the entrepreneurial spirit and the unshackled creativity of the individual. It is a paradigm that celebrates the inherent worth of each person, their unique abilities, and their right to the fruits of their own labor. The prosperity paradigm is not merely an economic framework, it is a cultural and philosophical shift that empowers individuals to take ownership of their lives, to embrace the potential within, and to contribute to the collective well-being of society. It is a mindset that rejects the victim mentality fostered by socialist rhetoric and instead inspires people to become the architects of their own destinies. At the heart of the prosperity paradigm lies the understanding that wealth is not a finite resource to be hoarded by the few, but rather a renewable and exponentially growing pool of possibilities. As individuals are granted the freedom to innovate, to take calculated risks, and to reap the rewards of their efforts, they not only better their own circumstances but also create opportunities for others to thrive. This positive-sum, win-win approach stands in stark contrast to the zero-sum, redistributive model of socialism, which views wealth as a fixed pie to be divided among the masses. The prosperity paradigm recognizes that the pie can be continuously expanded, creating abundance and shared prosperity, rather than scarcity and resentment. Embracing the prosperity mindset. The prosperity paradigm is not merely an abstract concept, it is a way of life that can be cultivated and nurtured within individuals, communities, and even entire societies. At its foundation lies a mindset that celebrates the inherent dignity and potential of the human spirit, and it is this mindset that can serve as a powerful antidote to the corrosive influences of socialist ideology. By embracing the prosperity paradigm, individuals can reshape their economic outlook and approach to life. Instead of dwelling on perceived scarcities or feeling entitled to a share of someone else's success, the prosperity mindset encourages a focus on growth, innovation, and the creation of value. It inspires people to ask themselves, how can I contribute to the collective prosperity, rather than, what can I take from the system? This shift in perspective has profound implications for economic and social policy. Rather than relying on government intervention and redistribution to achieve fairness, the prosperity paradigm recognizes that the best path to shared prosperity lies in empowering individuals to pursue their dreams, start businesses, and create jobs. It calls for the removal of burdensome regulations, the simplification of the tax code, and the protection of property rights, all of which serve to unleash the entrepreneurial potential of the citizenry. By embracing this mindset, Californians can reclaim their state's legacy as a hub of innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic dynamism. Instead of succumbing to the false promises of socialist policies that have brought ruin to so many, they can instead chart a course towards a future of abundance, self-reliance, and shared success. The prosperity paradigm in action. The power of the prosperity paradigm can be seen in the countless success stories of individuals who have harnessed their talents, seized opportunities, and created value for themselves and their communities. Take, for example, the story of John, a young entrepreneur who grew up in a low-income neighborhood in Los Angeles. Inspired by the prosperity paradigm, John decided to forego the temptation of government handouts and instead channeled his energy into starting a small tech company. Through hard work, calculated risk-taking, and a commitment to innovation, John's company grew rapidly, creating dozens of high-paying jobs and generating significant wealth not only for himself but for his employees and their families. John's story is not an outlier, it is a testament to the transformative power of the prosperity paradigm. As he reinvested his earnings back into the community, funding local schools, supporting small businesses, and contributing to charitable initiatives, John's success had a ripple effect, inspiring others to follow in his footsteps and embrace the entrepreneurial spirit. This is the essence of the prosperity paradigm. the belief that when individuals are empowered to pursue their passions, they not only better their own circumstances but also uplift the entire community. It is a model that stands in stark contrast to the socialist vision, which often stifles innovation, discourages risk-taking, and erodes the incentives for personal achievement. By fostering a culture of prosperity, Californians can reclaim their state's position as a beacon of hope, opportunity, and economic dynamism. Rather than succumbing to the siren call of socialist policies that have proven to be disastrous, they can instead embrace the prosperity paradigm and chart a course towards a future of abundance, self-reliance, and shared success. The path forward. As I reflect on my own experiences under the oppressive weight of socialism, I am filled with a deep sense of urgency to share the lessons I have learned. The prosperity paradigm is not merely an economic framework, it is a philosophical and cultural shift that can empower individuals, revitalize communities, and ignite a new era of growth and innovation. By rejecting the false promises of socialism and embracing the prosperity paradigm, Californians can reclaim their state's legacy as a land of boundless opportunity. They can unlock the inherent potential within themselves and their fellow citizens, fostering a thriving ecosystem of entrepreneurship, job creation, and shared prosperity. The path forward may not be an easy one, as the allure of socialist policies and the seductive rhetoric of political demagogues can be difficult to resist. But by staying true to the principles of the prosperity paradigm, by cultivating a mindset of self-reliance and personal responsibility, and by championing the unshackled creativity of the individual, Californians can chart a course towards a brighter, more prosperous future. It is my sincere hope that this vision of the prosperity paradigm will inspire and empower the people of California to rise above the false promises of socialism and embrace the transformative power of human ingenuity and entrepreneurship. Together, we can build a state and a nation that celebrates the dignity and potential of every individual, and that stands as a shining example of what is possible when we unlock the true prosperity that lies within.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. We hope you found today's content interesting, intriguing, and useful. You're invited to join us again, as our podcast episodes are now published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In the meanwhile, don't forget to stop by our website at www.libertarian.center or our Liberty and Democracy YouTube channel at bit.ly/democracy videos.